Welcome to Bourbon Tasteoffs, playoff brackets of the best whiskeys. Join us in our season-long quest to find our tastiest bourbon. Hello, welcome to Bourbon Tasteoffs. This is episode number 10. This is going to be our episode that we actually get to taste February's weekly winners and find the monthly winner. And we are your hosts, Todd, Dan, Josh. How do you guys feel about this?
I'm excited. Yeah, really excited. These are all really good, right? We love these, so this should be hard but fun.
Yeah, I'm excited as well. I'm looking forward to. I'm actually really thirsty right now, which might help a little bit too. So
Yeah,
looking forward to trying them out.
exactly. Just a quick rundown of the winners. We had Dan's picks, we had Josh's picks, we had my picks, and then we had a rye tasting. So we know what's in here. We just have to figure out which one we like the best. You guys want to get started?
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
Josh, if you would pick a number in there, we'll find out what is going to go against number one.
So we have number 1 versus number 4.
I like it. 1 versus 4. You guys picking up any differences in color yet? As far as just to get that out of the way, see which one is the darkest.
No. One looks pretty light, though.
I
Cheers,
agree.
boys. You guys have a good
Absolutely.
week?
Cheers.
Josh, you had a good week?
Oh, great week. It was even better until Marquette lost, but
Unbelievable, wasn't it?
yeah, and Wisconsin lost.
So
but
frustrating.
you know what? There's some last night, some good upsets. The day before, some good upsets. So it's good to see our bracket. The NCAA is pretty exciting right now. It's a little boring for a little bit. A lot of 1s and 2s winning, but now we really have March Madness.
Maybe a thought there is when we get to 8, find 8 bourbons maybe that in that community or something like that. That'd be kind of fun, or represented, or somehow or another assign one to each one.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, that's a good point. So have you guys had a taste of number 1 yet?
No taste, just nose. Not a ton of nose.
A little light. Not much of an aftertaste. Pretty crisp.
Yeah, I think that's a really. I'm still got some on the tongue though. I'd say the finish is. It's definitely got a finish. It's not disappearing. I thought the nose was rather light. I wasn't getting much on the nose at all. And I would have thought, with 4 winners here, that all of them would have this really fantastic nose. I don't remember from the previous ones one of them not having a good nose, but it's not a bad nose. It's just not much there.
I do agree. Yeah, I have a feeling like I know what this is. I mean, we've tasted these extensively, and it feels cool to be able to know kind of what you're tasting more. I know the previous episode it was Rise, and I was kind of way off with my taste buds.
Right.
But what we're doing right now is we're actually recording a few episodes a day. We're trying to catch up. We actually didn't get started on this whole process until February. And the concept is to have a monthly winner and 12 monthly winners so that we can have a yearly, Super Bowl winner. And to do that, we have to kind of catch up a couple weeks, and we have to drink a few episodes worth in one day. And I think the last episode, the rye episode, was our 4th tasting of the day.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
But hey, Todd, why are you giving away the secrets?
I just
I
don't
brought
want people
4
to
different
think.
shirts this time.
Yeah, I don't want the peppermint patty comment to make it look like, wow, yeah, he has no taste at all.
Yeah, it is funny. The further along in that day, the more things started to kind of get a little bit confusing. You're just like, oh, it's almost like trying going to the store and you're like trying out different beds, and then after the 15th bed you lay on, you're like, I don't know, man. Like they all start feeling the same. I'm not saying that we were to that point by the 4th episode, but
No, I think we need to limit ourselves.
3 episodes a week, is that what we're saying?
It seemed perfect to me. It seems like what perfect drinking is all about. Kind of being silly and having fun, cutting up a little bit, right?
Oh, for sure.
That is a good point too. All right, I'm going to go on to 2 or 4.
4.
4's definitely got more nose to it.
I already did 4. I'll let you guys try it. It tasted a little bit different than what it smelled.
I agree. It does.
Expect it to be a little more malty, a little bit more.
This has a lot more going on.
It does.
Yeah, on the nose, I was getting almost like a warm caramel, like really warm, buttery scent to it. And then you taste it, and then the peppery notes are more noticeable than the sweet notes.
Oh, that's funny you said the buttery thing, because that's right on the money. I wouldn't have picked those words out, but as soon as you said them, I'm like, that's exactly what it is.
Blind squirrel finds a nut every once in a while.
Who's the blind squirrel in this situation?
Me.
I find myself being a little nervous now. There's been some comments about me drinking too much of the bourbons while I'm sitting here. So now I'm a little like, why? Maybe I shouldn't be sipping so much.
Dan, I think it's just because you always have a smile on your face. I think the question or the response was, wow, Dan looks like he's really enjoying himself.
Which is a good thing.
Right, it was a good thing. And I think it was for that one episode of your picks where we had deferred to Tyler.
Oh.
So it was more like, hey, Dan kind of enjoyed his time
Right.
because he wasn't on the hook for making a decision.
I wish Tyler was here. I really did enjoy. I know it kind of messes up the tie if we have to vote on something, but he's so new to this, and I like how he's just raw at it. Where it's like, I just like this better.
Yeah.
You know, he's just like, I'm not sure what the taste is here. I kind of really remember it being like when I first started drinking bourbon. And he's like, oh, I'm excited about this one. You know, I'm excited about, you know, so it's nice to have some diversity to the group. You know, people that have a lot of experience to none or something.
That's a great point.
You know, so
Yeah.
it was fun to see him. And hopefully in future he can come back, or maybe we can have different
Exactly.
guests. You know,
Yep.
we need a female guest in here, get a female palate in there or something like that. That'd be awesome.
And when we plan on having that soiree at your
Yeah.
place, we plan to hopefully have a mic available for people to come sit down and kind of talk
That's
to them.
exactly how I envision it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'll be
Yep.
fun.
Yep.
Well,
Yeah, my favorite thing about Tyler is, you know, I'm relatively new to this anyways, 4 years. So, I mean, that's new.
Yeah.
And it's so recent that I'm hearing a lot of the stuff that I was saying through Tyler 4 years ago. So, like, oh, this is really good.
Yeah.
Like the single barrel from New Riff. He's like, oh, I really like this a lot. And I remember the first time I was tasting New Riff, the rye, I'm like, oh, man, this is really good stuff. So, and I wasn't jaded by all of the $200 or the, you know, all the expensive stuff. You're able to taste it for what it is.
Right.
Yep.
Totally.
I certainly hope he comes back and joins us. I think he will. He just couldn't make it today.
Tyler, we want you back.
We miss you, man.
I feel like this is a gone missing. Like, guys, we really want Tyler back.
Right.
Please come home.
We can turn it into Where's Waldo? Like, where's Tyler?
All right, back to the bourbon, huh?
Yeah.
I've got to pick on this. This one was pretty easy for me.
I also got to pick. Alrighty, who's gonna go first?
I'll go first. I picked 4. It was pretty easy for me. It just had a lot more there to it. 1 wasn't bad. Clearly a fine bourbon. Just 4 had a lot more going on. And the nose and the taste, the finish, definitely more complex. And just yummy. So I don't know what it is. But I'm sure if I don't have a bottle, I will. Because it was that good. So I picked 4.
Yeah, I liked 4 as well. Ditto.
Yeah.
And yeah, I liked it. The second half, the taste didn't sync up 100% this time with the actual nose.
It's gone.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay. Yeah, but I'm looking forward to the next 2 to be able to compare it to 4.
I agree. And I'm right on
I
the
should
same
have drank
page.
all that. Now I have nothing on them.
Oh, we have a chance to fill it back up.
I was not even thinking about that.
That was so good, guys.
That was-
I actually don't even need to taste the next 2 because 4 is my winner. Is that what I'm hearing, Dan?
no, but that was pours really good.
I agree.
Yeah, that was my pick as well. I do agree with you guys. So that's unanimous, and I pretty much feel I know what the first 2 are. and I don't want to make comments. I don't want to sway anything, but maybe before they come out, I'll give my pick or my guess on it. So going to 2 and 3. Now, this is an episode where we're tasting the weekly winners and coming up with February's monthly winner. So we know a little bit about these bourbons already. They've been discussed in previous episodes. So if you want to learn more about them, you can watch our previous episodes. Do some filler, Dan and I actually went to a couple local liquor stores, and we
went on the road today.
Yeah.
We took the show on the road, Josh.
Awesome. Did you have video evidence or?
Oh, we do. Hey guys, Dan and Todd here from Bourbon Tasteoffs, and we had a little liquor store run this morning. Me and Todd both got a Buffalo Trace that they had, and he got a store pick, and I got a Yellowstone bottle, and we're gonna head to another liquor store. This is kind of what we do once in a while. Look up and see if we can find something different before we sit down and drink some bourbon later today. We're at Discount Liquor. I gotta pick up a quarter barrel. I got college kids that are home and they drink a lot of beer, and I like beer too, as you guys know. And we're gonna check out and see what they got in their bourbon selection. We've had good luck here before. They're a full service liquor store, so hopefully we're finding something good.
Perfect. I'm coming in too. We're gonna see what we can find in here. I'm really anxious and curious to show you guys the Fusion selection, see what they got in here. So we'll show you. All right, so here we're at Discount Liquor. I want to show you guys that this Ford Fusion, this is batch Series 9 right here. If you just go back and kind of take a look, that's another 9. You keep searching because oftentimes here's a number 6 in here. So we got a number 6. See if we can find anything else. And another number 6. There's one more. Let me just check it.
All right.
See if we can get a 1.
Are you looking for one in particular, Todd?
Well, the 5 that we tried that won was really good, and this is an 8.
Okay.
They don't have anything more in there. So that's what you kind of have to do if you're searching for some of these bottles. If I find a 5 or a 7, I'm getting it.
Okay.
Those are really good.
Yeah, we made videos.
Awesome.
Yeah, we were those nerdy guys in there holding the camera and talking while we're in the store.
Awesome. Did you end up purchasing a gimbal? Do you know what that is?
No.
So a gimbal is a handheld kind of holds your phone, and it actually like with a gyroscope. So you can move it around, but it keeps the frame generally like on frame.
That sounds professional.
So it's like you can find them for like $100 for your cell phones. So like before the auto stabilization and stuff. But the nice thing is you just kind of go like this, and then it just
stays balanced.
Keeps it balanced. So yeah, for the next time, maybe I'll send you a link after this for a gimbal. My best friend is a huge techie, and he bought this gimbal, as he calls it, like 8-10 years ago. So I've kind of a while that he's had this type of thing. But yeah, that'd be pretty cool.
That would be very cool.
If you think about it, like at the NFL, they got these things that they come over, these big things that they hold their chest.
Well, maybe there's some company out there that's watching this and wants to donate one, and we would bring it up. We would say this is from, if they want to send us one.
Yeah, a gimbal.
That's a good point. Right. Because when you watch the video, you'll see the bounce and the shake and the Jimmy.
Oh, no worries.
Shimmy.
Cocoa Puff.
I got out of work and Todd got out of the shower. We met over at one of our local grocery/liquor stores that we both know that has a decent bourbon selection. And are we sharing what they had today? What we got?
Sure.
So they had some Trace, and you can't go to the store if they have it, not buy one.
So they did have Trace.
They did.
Yeah, in Wisconsin, it is nearly impossible to find Trace. So did they have a lot? Did they have
a case, right?
Little case, and it said limit 1 per person.
Okay, cool.
So.
And then I bought a Yellowstone rum cask finish. From previous episodes, most people know that I'm a fan of the Yellowstone products, and I've never had that one before. I've had all the other ones. And I was a little hesitant. I don't tend to like things that are finished differently, but until I try it, and where'd you get that?
I'm sorry, I was so focused on what I just tasted. I was like zoning out. I'm like, wow, this is so good. No, I ended up getting, so they had a single barrel pick, Knob Creek, which is a little over 9 years old. So that looked delicious. And then the Buffalo Trace.
Right.
Yeah.
If you don't mind me asking, what did the Buffalo Trace set you back?
Just 28.
Yeah,
28.
under 30 still.
Then what'd that Yellowstone cost?
I think 40.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. And the one that you got?
Ladies and gentlemen,
Dan, that was such a fantastic experience. Like with you at the liquor store, you being able to point out some of the ones that you've had in the past and explaining it to me how you enjoyed them or didn't enjoy them. And when you have a wall of options like that, for you to go back and forth, like explaining to each other what we did like or didn't like, it's such a neat experience to be able to do that with someone.
It's funny when we go to liquor stores. When I go to liquor stores, I'll stand there and kind of be looking for different things. Like I've been trying to find an Old Forester 1924. Haven't found one yet. But I'll go through the Old Forester section and like see if not there. And I find at some liquor stores, it's almost like they don't like the guys that are hunting for bottles. Like they'll put the allocated in one area, and I'll hear the guy that runs the place tell me about, oh yeah, I see guys stand there all day and they're looking at the same bottles, and it's kind of off-putting. Like this is doing you business. I mean, I typically will buy something else there too. It's pretty rare. How often do you go into the liquor store and don't come out with something? You're like, oh, there was nothing here. It don't happen too often to me. It doesn't happen to me. Something's on sale or, but today was engaging and fun. And the first place, the cashiers, yeah, we got some Buffalo Trace. They make you buy it on the way out. And then we had good interaction with the woman at the second place. She's like, oh yeah, you picked up that one bottle, and she's like, oh yeah, I'm hearing really good things about that. You know, we don't get in it very often. That was that Woodford Reserve.
Yes.
But, yeah. So. Yeah, fun to get out, and there's a couple more we have to try. Maybe we'll do that another weekend or something like that. A couple on the other side of town that I want to try that I hear good things about.
Yeah, I got a couple for you guys too. Or maybe I'll even join you at the next one.
Yeah, very cool.
Yeah, there's a couple spots. There's a spot north a bit in the town of Erin. I think that you guys should try out.
Really?
It's actually a bourbon place bar, but they actually have quite a bit of piques or signed bottles and stuff too that you can purchase.
There's a bourbon bar in Erin.
Like up that way up.
Okay.
It's not distillery by chance, is it?
I think it is distillery, yeah.
That's not by Aaron. That's by Richfield and Franklin.
Yeah.
Richfield and Franklin are total opposites.
I'm sorry, not Franklin.
I know what you mean.
Burness?
Yeah.
That's that way, right? It's right there, yeah.
I thought all that whole area I kind of just lumped together.
Sure. I was going to say, because Erin is literally up 83, the next one after Chinook.
Yeah.
So I kind of know that there's a liquor store up that way, but I was like, I don't know any. I think there's a new bourbon bar in Oconomowoc. I'm not sure the name of it.
Oh.
I'm pretty sure there is.
Is it called Dan's Bar?
No.
Oh, you don't live in Oconomowoc?
It's going to be if he keeps going.
Well, we go out that way because that's the next way.
There has been one down there, or a liquor or a bar that actually had Blanton's. The owner, I've met him before. He actually had a closet full, kind of out of like all the stuff that he had, found. And it was awesome. It was a good, like one of the first. It was actually the first spot where I actually had Blanton's.
Okay.
Right there.
There's a place called Vino. They have a pretty good selection.
Yep.
We had a neighbor that played in the band. They played there once in a while.
Oh,
so
nice.
we would go up there and check it out and stuff like that. But yeah, so there are some places. Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome.
That was a good time.
You know what we should do? We should make a point of it. Seeing you guys have heard me say that. I'm a big fan of going out for breakfast. I think we should go out for breakfast one Saturday, Sunday morning, and then try a couple different liquor stores.
I like that.
I like that idea too.
Yeah.
Yep.
Do that. Or we'll have to make time for it. That's what we got to do.
All right, fellas.
Sounds good.
Let's find out what's going to win this month, huh?
Alrighty, on to number 2.
Yeah. This is such a fun experiment. Do you guys have any idea what might take like our actual best tasting whiskey of the year? Like so far, I mean, I guess
Of what we've done so far. What won the first 4?
so. The first 4 was Chestnut Hill or
Okay.
Chestnut Farms. So that one was really good. That one went up against some other pretty good ones. It actually beat Bullet 10. So I mean, that's a testament.
I like 2. Pretty good.
Yeah, they're starting to blend on me. I need to.
It's that soft, light maple.
Yeah, 2 is really good. 3's got a spicy kick to it.
I'm not there yet. I'm excited.
It's got some heat in the tongue. 3 does.
Yeah, I'm going back to 2. I agree. It's so good. I had to kind of refresh my palate just because going from 4 to 2, it kind of had a jump, a little bit of a jump in heat, I don't want to say complexity, but heat and some spice to it. So I needed to kind of refresh. So good though, man. All right, I'll try 3 now. Kind of have an idea what this might be, but it's, yeah.
Lighten me up.
It's got some heat to it, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is a tough choice for me. It's hot, spicy heat versus soft and light, but a little sweet.
I'm gonna pick 3.
I'll let you go, Josh. I'm still debating. Man, that 2 is so good, but so is 3. You're not gonna go wrong either one you pick.
Yeah, Todd, you're gonna be the swing vote. I'm gonna go with number 2.
Wow. Big shooter.
Yeah, that is so good. I have to go back to just enjoying heat and sweet, and I'm gonna pick 3. Yeah.
All right, so we have 3 hot, spicy heat. I really did like 3 a lot. So we got 4 versus 3, definitely different.
They are, and let's get those bottles out here and talk about them. So yeah, I had is the word inkling? I had an inkling that glass 1 might be the rye, and it came out to be true. It ended up being the Templeton Rye, which is a single barrel, and it's a 95 proof option.
Is this a barrel pick?
It is a barrel pick.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, a local liquor store that
Single barrel.
is close to work. We ended up,
Single barrel pick.
yeah. Limited release.
They
So
did a good job. It's pretty good.
It's really good.
Does Templeton make anything that's not a rye? Seems like all I've seen is ryes.
That's a good question. I've only seen ryes as well. Yeah. Small town, strong spirit.
Oh, there you go.
So it is pretty strong, but I think it's mostly because of the rye. I don't think the heat's there. Obviously, it's a 95 proof, which is very typically approachable.
Very approachable.
Yeah.
A little bit lighter than a typical rye.
Yeah.
And you picked this.
That's a rye that I could drink.
Yeah.
No doubt about it.
Awesome.
All right. And then glass 2, which lost to glass 3, is the Oregon Spirit single barrel. It's a bottled in bond. So it is 100 proof. I know in our previous episode where this was the winner, we all just really enjoyed it. It was so good.
And it's a surprise winner too, wasn't it? It was a surprise.
Yes. Yeah. It beat out some really good options because it was bottled in bond. Mm-hmm. And that's a strong category. We're probably going to have another bottled in bond coming up pretty soon.
Yeah, really good. I liked it. Yeah, it's kind of interesting. When I'd had it before, it was really what I kind of recognized just in the last 30 seconds is that depending on what you try before or after something can actually impact the flavor.
Oh, sure.
That is for sure. Yep.
So, but yeah, I really liked it a lot. But to be honest with you, number 3 was really good as well. So this is a tough choice between the two. And I'm happy to see 3 move forward as well and play off against number 4.
All right. With that being said, let's get on to it. How have you guys been enjoying this process so far? Or not enjoying? What are some hang-ups maybe you have, or just the enjoyment aspects of it? Like what positives and cons I'm okay with hearing.
So no cons.
Commitment, maybe.
Yeah, I think that's that's the challenge. I'd say just family time and juggling, all our stuff and work.
With a new baby, especially.
Yeah, new baby.
Yeah.
But in regards to the experience itself with you two, I had never met Dan prior to, a month and a half ago, 2 months ago. And Todd, you and I have been friends for a couple of years through a golf outing. So this is a really cool experience to just be able to meet and, get to learn you guys and what your thoughts. And I've never done something like this before. But yeah, I think the only thing that's a little bit different for me is I generally drink my bourbon with like 3-4 ice cubes. So learning how to drink neat is a new experience for me. So I'd say that's a pro. Definitely a different experience. What about you, Dan?
Why don't we do an episode where we're doing them all on the rocks?
I love that idea.
Yeah.
I do.
We can do that.
Yeah.
And we wouldn't have known that, until you
Call it
actually.
Josh's show.
Yeah.
Josh's show.
Yeah. I love that idea.
Brings 4 bourbons that he drinks on the rocks, and we'll get rocks and pour them over.
I love it on the rocks too, though.
Yeah,
It's
I do too.
refreshing. Like, you not only get the strong pungent, you get the.
So I don't know if I talked to you guys about Kentucky Owl, but one of my favorite. So Kentucky Owl, my friend would put it in the freezer, and then serve it ice cold, just not even on ice. So and you would take that ice cold, and it was like custard. It was that good.
Nice.
So yeah, I'm up for that.
That's a great idea. Dan, I'm glad you kind of made that, an option instead of just hear his story and be like, yeah, too bad we're doing it neat.
Right. No, I understand why we're doing it neat. It's
Right.
like it's very difficult to compare all the bourbons if one has been in ice for 5 minutes versus 1 minute versus 0 minutes. So it's like this is as it comes. So
100% accurate.
So Dan, what about your experience? What are your thoughts?
Yeah.
Pros, cons. Obviously, the number one pro is hanging out with Todd and I, right?
Absolutely.
You guys you're really trying to take me up on that offer of giving you money if you give me good reviews.
I would say the only con is, and it's not really a con, is I found myself in drinking, and I think we talked about this in other aspects, is maybe just me being a little narrow-minded in some of the bourbons that I'm trying. So I see that I'm like, man, I could open myself up to that, and try it more, and maybe I will like it more if I tried it more. Maybe I'm just closing it off. I've had 1 rye that I don't like, or 2 that I don't like. I'm like, not a rye guy. Maybe, the Templeton rye, it's not bad. It's a pretty good rye, so maybe, that would be the only con. And the positives are huge. Just the camaraderie, the fellowship, talking about it. Even if the microphones weren't here and the camera wasn't rolling, this would be a whole lot of fun for me.
Absolutely.
Just sitting around telling stories. Before we sit down to do this, we probably talk for half an hour and just shoot the shit and have all kinds of giggles and laughs about silly things. So, yeah.
Yeah, the only difference is we're standing generally when we're
Right.
talking, right?
Right.
So it just doesn't show well on a podcast. But
Right.
we're just doing the same thing. We're just sitting down.
Right. Yeah. Just a lot less formal. It's just,
Right.
Regular guys just talking about their lives and stuff like that.
And it's weird to hear you say narrow-minded. Like, I do not view you as like narrow-minded, and I think it definitely shows that you have a preference, that you have a style that you really enjoy. I think that's just a preference thing, and that you are very, consistent with your
Right.
taste, and it's not a narrow-minded thing. It's just what you enjoy. That's the beauty of this. Is like, what do you enjoy? Let's find our best.
Dan, how long have you been drinking bourbon? Like 20, 30?
No.
Okay.
No.
Days.
Days?
I want to say maybe in the 8 years range.
Okay, cool.
I thought maybe I'd said something on an earlier episode. My first choice for a drinking product would be beer.
Okay.
I love the taste of simple quality beer.
Your bladder doesn't.
It's just that I would come home from work and I would, as I'm aging now, have 3 beers, and I would be up at like 2 in the morning just peeing. And once
Right.
I was up at 2, then I'd be up at 4.
Yeah.
And actually, my son drank some bourbon, and then he's like, try this, see if you like this. And I was like, ooh, I do like this taste. And I was able to have that same kind of warm, fuzzy, I'm ready for bed kind of feeling without all the liquid. and I could go to bed and pass out and without getting up at 2 a.m. to pee then. So that's what kind of brought me to bourbon. Last night, most of the time when I go out, I don't drink a bourbon. Last night I was out and I had beers.
Well, awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was the only reason why I was asking. I was wondering if, because you've been drinking longer, I mean, you've been drinking twice as long as I have. I'm about 4 years in. If you've kind of gotten to the point where you're like, oh, I really know what I like, 8 years. You know, someone
Sure.
that's... So for me, I'm like, with beer, I've been drinking beer for a while, and I'm like, I know what I like when it comes to beer.
Right.
And that was just more my thought.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I would say it's the same thing. I mean, I know what beers I like, and I know why I like them, and they're usually, it's kind of weird to say, but like the bourbon I drink, they're pretty simple in their approach. They're like quality products done in a simple way, but a time-tested, true way, you know, where it's 8 to 10-year-old bourbon. It's that sweet spot for me. It's got some of the liquor taken off of it, some of that alcohol, that ethanol kind of thing, but it's got some good oak flavor. Those are the ones I gravitate.
Yeah.
The same with the beers. You know, it's the same. It's a simple kind of maybe German style, 3-4 basic ingredients, and it's like, oh, that's a good beer. You know, that's a good bourbon. It's got great flavor, great heat, and you know, simple.
Yeah. Not only that, 8 years in, and he's still learning things. Like a couple episodes ago, you know, we're talking about the Bardstown Fusion, which actually is one of these options, where it's like, you know, you were like, wow, I was scared to kind of venture into that because nobody had been talking about it to me, you know. So it's like, it's neat to hear that, yeah, you have experience with the 8 years, but then you're also learning things through this process as well,
Right.
which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
You know, you guys have brought things that I've never had before. I'm providing things that you've never had before. You know, it's such a fun process. Like, we're tasting things that we've never had before only because we're all kind of contributing, you know?
Sure. So is that your number one pro, Todd? Is you get to try all the new ones that you haven't had before? Or?
I'd say my number one
He's stealing
pro
bottles from all of us.
Yeah.
would be taking the bottles from you all.
My collection is what, like, you wouldn't believe.
Yeah, that is so funny. I mean, yeah. I wish she never would have commented on that.
Who commented?
Your wife commented on the idea that I'm taking them because I really thought I had a good plan.
Secrets out.
Right.
Ocean's 11. Todd 11.
Yeah.
This is not working out.
Now I've got to give you back your wheelbarrow full of bourbon that you brought over.
Right, and then after we leave, there's a whole other group that comes in. Different podcast name and everything.
Oh man.
Yeah, it'll be a cigar podcast or
Oh man.
Yep.
Todd's got it going on.
cigar or coffee podcast.
I thought it was normal that we pay $50 every week. Huh?
Dan's like, huh? I pay 100. Yeah, so
I got a winner in here,
I do too.
I do as well.
Yeah,
but it's close.
it is close. 3 has a punch of flavor. It's got that punch of heat and spice. I love it. But I'm gonna pick 4. I think just it's all around good for almost anybody. Like if anybody came in and you were like, here, taste one of these 2, more people I think would pick 4 than 3.
Right.
It's just so
It's a little more approachable, I think.
approachable and just well-rounded. It's got so many complexities to it. It's just very good.
I'd agree 100%.
Yeah, I also a big fan. Dark, tasty, not just complete. Very, 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 very big fan of it. So
Yep.
like it a lot. Oh, we have a winner.
All right, let's bring those out. So we're back with these bourbons. We like to save the winner for last, so we'll talk about the second to last, which, you know, this barrel proof larceny, which Dan brought on his episode of his picks, it went against some fantastic options, and it is no slouch. This thing is full of flavor, big heat, 125.8 proof. It's such a delicious, it's a wheated bourbon, and I think that's what helps. You got that high proof, which is high alcohol, which is often a burn, but because it's a wheated, it smooths it out, and it just makes it really just delicious. I think that's a fantastic bottle.
Yeah, so I couldn't agree more.
Is this the one that won against Four Roses single?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think I picked the Four Roses single. I'm still got that taste in my, just
That was a good
phenomenal.
pick.
I was gonna say you can't go wrong with that either.
But yeah, this
This
is
just had a little bit more than the Four Roses.
Yeah.
Just a little, I mean,
right. This is good though. Big fan.
It's super good, and for something to beat that is pretty impressive. And it ended up being the Bardstown Fusion Series 5, and it comes through with like 3 different options as far as the aging. It goes a 4-year, 3-year, and then a 11-year. And so 54% of the 4-year is in it, which is 78% corn, 18% rye, 12% malted barley, and then 14% of the blend is the 3-year, which is 60% corn, 26% rye, and then it brings in some wheat, which is 10% wheat, and then 4% malted barley. And then 30% of the sourced product, which is 11-year, 75% corn, 13% rye, and 12% malted barley. So that beat out some other fantastic Fusion Series options that we had on that episode.
yeah. Really good bourbons. Those were good choices.
Yeah, I think, to say that these were the 4 that won out and that we were able to, compare or taste these. What a privilege. I'm just looking
Seriously.
back, I'm like, this has been a fun month.
It's been a fun 2 months. I mean, I
Oh,
think
yeah.
out of all 4 taste-off winners, there's probably one that we were like, it was the single malt. Where we were like,
Right.
well, it's not comparing to the others, but it beat out its pairing.
What was month one's winner again?
Month 1 was the Chestnut Farms.
Okay.
Ended up beating the Bullet 10, which was a very good
Right.
weekly winner on its own.
Oh, it makes me think how the Chestnut Farms would do.
Yeah, right?
Right.
All right. Hey, cut it. All right, let's go.
Exactly.
I'm just kidding.
let's fast forward to the
Right. Bring that bottle out.
Yeah. That's a great point, though, because I think comparing them
Yeah.
will be a challenge.
Right.
I think they're both very good.
Yeah, the best of the best. So we got to wait 10 more weeks to get to the best of the best, or we're going to do the total best of the best at the end of the year?
No, we do have to narrow it down after we get 3 monthly winners, which we have. Now we have January, we have February. Once we get March, that March monthly winner, we're going to taste those off and have a quarterly winner.
Got it.
So-
Then our December one is going to be each quarter versus first quarter, second quarter, third
Correct.
quarter, fourth quarter.
And it'll be
Alright.
the yearly taste off champion. And like already just this first quarter is proving to be super exciting with the levels of quality that we have.
No doubt about it.
Well, I have a ton of bourbons that haven't even been. They're in the closet in the corner that haven't even been touched. So we got plenty more to go. And
Nice.
doing the math, we have 16 a month.
Todd should have like 400 bottles by the end of that.
Yeah, we're gonna go through 192 bottles this year.
That's awesome.
So that's damn. What are we gonna do next year?
That is awesome. We're going to keep it going, man.
All right, cool. Well, hey, as you know, there's a lot of new bourbons that are coming out. We'll have to do different ways of doing this. Awesome. I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Good job, guys.
I've got friends that have been giving me suggestions. I've been like, this is a bourbon that I really like. I want you guys to taste it. A buddy of mine, Command Sergeant Major Kim Michalowski, your uncle, he comes and he's like, man, you guys are doing a really good job with your episodes. I really like Duke bourbon, which he's a huge John Wayne fan. He could watch a movie on mute and say all the words.
Quote it all.
Exactly. So yeah, we'll definitely do some of that. If anybody else has any suggestions of having match off, pair off type stuff, feel free to just comment and give us some ideas. We want this to be an experience that not only we're experiencing, but we want you to experience it with us. Take part, man. Join. Give us some comments
Yeah,
and
get the bottles out, do it
suggestions.
yourself.
Yeah, we want this to be an engaging thing. So we welcome your suggestions. We thank you so much for watching, and please like and subscribe, and we'll see you next episode.
See you later.
Woo-hoo.